Empty grocery shelves aren't just an issue in the U.S. right now. It's a growing problem in Canada. And one premier says the situation is turning into a crisis. That's as one trucking industry expert warns that fertilizer shortages could be next. Jason Kenney is the premier of Alberta. Now, earlier this week, sharing pictures on Twitter of empty store shelves sent to him from across the province. He says the problem requires immediate action by the Canadian and U.S. governments. At issue, the recent vaccine mandate that went into effect for truckers earlier this month. The mandate requiring truckers to be vaccinated before crossing the border. Now, truckers were previously exempt from federal travel restrictions. Now, I spoke to SHAUN, the host of Real Agriculture in Canada, to get some perspective about what's going on.
I think of an example from an agriculture perspective of, getting California fruits and vegetables into Canada has all of a sudden become a lot more challenging than it was previously. And if it does, we're also hearing those freight rates have gone up substantially. So a lot of concerns here. And it kind of, in my mind, feels a little bit of a self-inflicted wound.
The Canadian Trucking Alliance estimating the mandate may force about 20% of the 160,000 Canadian and American cross-border truckers to be taken off the roads. KRAPU helps trucking companies and drivers navigate rules and regulations on the road. She says we haven't seen the full extent of this impact, considering Canada's vaccine requirement just went into effect on January 15th, and a similar mandate for drivers to enter into the U.S. only went into effect on Saturday.
And from what I have been told from some chatter in the industry and some of my customers is a lot of their fertilizer comes from Canada. About 50% of Canada's fertilizer is exported into the United States. So if a vaccinated driver is not allowed to go into Canada to pull that fertilizer out, we're going to have some issues there. And then vice versa, even if Canada can get it to us, if the Canadian driver that's going to pull some fertilizer down into the U.S. isn't vaccinated, they're not going to be allowed in.
Several truckers taking to the road to protest under the banner Freedom Convoy 2022 in an effort to fight the mandate. They started in Vancouver over the weekend. The convoy expected to reach Ottawa on Saturday. Now, it's reported about 77% of the entire Canadian population is vaccinated against coronavirus. In the U.S., that number is roughly 63%.